Drop dubs, hit routes, so yeah, we on the move. From the paint to the pocket, got nothing to prove. Precision in the pass, rhythm in the run. Every play, every day, till the work is done. Yeah. Step on the field, I'm reading the D. Eyes wide open, ain't fooling me. Pump fake, sidestep. I'm breaking the press from baseline to sideline. I'm bringing my best. Snap back, quick glance. I'm calling the play. Hoop dreams and touchdowns. I'm making my way. No look behind the back. Fred in the scene. Ever able, let me shout. I'm chasing a dream. Drop times, hit routes in the deep, no doubt. From the field to the hardwood, hear the crowd shout. Pass it, dish it, through traffic. We find.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate you for tuning in to Passion and Precision. It is a Sunday. Not normally when you would see us, but we're here. You know, day before Memorial Day, which obviously is a big holiday around the country. So I'm sure some of you may be with family. Some of you might be traveling. I don't know. But hopefully you can tune in, join the conversation, have some fun with us for a little bit here on a Sunday night. As you can see on the screen, we got a lot to talk about. NBA, NFL, WNBA. Also got Final Burn at the end of the show, which you already know. We can't miss that opportunity to let some people know about themselves. But before we get into all of that, gotta introduce, well, not really introduce, like you guys already know who she is. Got Jory. Jory, how are you doing?
It's been an eventful week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would like to say to the state of Georgia, y'all, in this driving thing, we have got to do better.
Right.
I look, it's not even funny anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all do not know. Y'all don't understand. Friday, it was ridiculous.
Yes.
No, because we had decided because it was storming, and we had decided that it was we were gonna go home
Mm-hmm.
instead of going to the store. We were gonna go home and come back out like an hour or two later. Man, almost got T-boned, and then the lady who was my mom making the right turn, there was a lady cut in front of her to get in the parking spot.
That's that's basically your run of the mill
I'm like,
experience in Atlanta.
y'all have got to do better. More on that later, but child, I hope y'all are having a great weekend. If it's rainy where you are, like it is, it sucks here, but I still got the grill on, so.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And the playoffs have been ticking me off.
Well, I mean, we will definitely get into that here shortly, but yeah, the weather is kind of crazy, but it's the unofficial start to the summer, basically, and yeah, well, let's just enjoy it. But you did mention the playoffs kind of get on your nerves. Before we get into that, gotta talk about Dallas. They made a coaching move. They fired Jason Kidd, which I feel like it's interesting. You know, they just had the number one pick. Seemingly, I guess he was supposed to be tasked with coaching up Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg wins Rookie of the Year, but the season doesn't go as well as I guess some Mavericks fans and obviously the front office would have liked. What'd you think about the Kidd firing? Do you think it was justified? Like, why do you think they pulled this move off right now?
Really, to me, it's the new GM wanting to
Mm-hmm.
rid the organization of the stench of the Luka Doncic trade. Everybody associated got to go.
Yeah.
That's clearly what this reeks of to me. And I'm not really mad at it Even though I do think Kid will get another job elsewhere,
Okay.
maybe not this cycle, but next cycle, he'll get another job elsewhere. But he wants to get the organization a reboot, a refresh,
Hmm.
because as long as they're still harping on, as long as there's still people in that building that was there for the Luka Doncic trade, fans are not going to get over it.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I'm not mad at it. Also, it's worth to note that Kid has a sub 500 record if you don't have Luka. So
Right. I mean, I believe his actual time in Dallas, he was a 500 coach. I think he was 205 and 205.
see,
So, but yeah, I agree. The whole Doncic trade, I feel like, was the motivating factor because I think, like you said, new ownership and the kind of the new front office structure, they want to put that as far behind them as they can. Like, obviously, as long as Luka's playing, people will remember the trade, but Dallas would like to move forward in the Cooper Flag era and hopefully make that somewhat successful moving forward. I think it'll be interesting to see who they do hire down there. I, I honestly don't even know where they should look. I mean, you and I, well, we've talked in Discord, which, if you're tuning in, we do have a Discord for the show. So if you haven't joined it, go ahead and do so. I'll drop the link in the chat here in a little bit. But a guy that we talked about, Rondo,
hmm
he did play in Dallas. I feel like he would be an interesting coach, and maybe going with a first time hire would bring in some new energy down there. And who knows? Maybe he becomes the next great young coach in the league.
I don't see why not.
Probably prefer
They
that
kind
over.
of did it late in the cycle, though. If they did this late in the cycle, why did you do this when everybody else fired their coach?
Yeah, I mean, we had the draft combine going on. The draft is in
The
what?
timing isn't ideal.
Draft's like 3 weeks away, maybe.
You gonna hire a coach and then get his board in there in 3 weeks?
Unless maybe they already have a guy in mind. And I don't know. It's the timing is a little weird. Like, this is something that they probably could have done maybe right as the season ended. You could have given yourself a little bit more time.
hmm
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what the Mavericks end up doing. But now let's get into the finals, which I mean not the finals, the NBA playoffs, well, conference finals. As you said, they've been kind of getting on your nerves. I'm going to assume it's maybe, well, actually, both conference finals could possibly get on your nerves.
Yes.
Let's start.
Yes.
Let's start. We'll start in the West, though. Um, your thoughts on Thunder and Spurs as we are heading into pivotal matchup between the two teams. But what have you kind of noticed in that matchup so far?
It's borderline unwatchable.
Okay.
I am so sick and tired of them acting like fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. It is borderline unwatchable. This is not ethical basketball. This is bullshit. Excuse my language.
Okay.
This is not right. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I'm tired. Y'all are not superheroes. We don't need to see Superman. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I thought it was going to be entertaining, and Wimby is doing everything he can. But
Yeah.
when you got people who flop when you breathe on them too damn hard, how, like, what more can he do? Castle's doing his part.
Mm-hmm.
Vassell kind of had a poor showing not that long ago, but for the most part, he's been doing his part.
Yeah.
Fox came back, played decent, and they still lost. like, bro, I'm annoyed. I am beyond annoyed with this Oklahoma City Floppers.
Yeah,
I'm beyond annoyed
that's fair.
because now I say that they flopped their way to a second to back-to-back title.
I, I mean, look, it is part of the conversation. Obviously, it's been a year long thing, which is why I have said before that I feel like the league is going to do something. Now, whether or not it's going to be drastic enough, we'll have to wait on that. But I do think, yes, flopping on Oklahoma City's side is one thing. I think the other thing that's been interesting is how they have been playing Wemby. Because remember, game one, they tried
Hmm.
Chet floating around and not putting him on Wemby, and Wemby torched them. And then since then, they've been very physical with him, with Hartenstein. I wonder if they will be able to kind of do that the whole way, or will the officiating even change on that? Because some of that's been getting attention now. You know, there were a few plays that were highlighted, like on Sports Center packages and all that, where they're dumping it down inside to Wemby and his arms being grabbed and all this kind of stuff. So I wonder, is that something that might even change within this series? And if it does that swing it back towards San Antonio being a favorite in this one? Or, do the Thunder just have the momentum right now? And we'll probably learn a lot about a young, somewhat inexperienced Spurs team, whether or not they can handle this pressure right now. Plus the Fox aspect of it, because he did limp around last game as well. And
Hmm.
if he can't go, I think that might be what helps the Thunder move on. Which, look, most of the country probably hates that, but that's kind of where it seems like we're headed. Which I
I'm
know,
just over it.
yeah.
Like, I want the Spurs to win this series. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. I really
Hmm.
do
Yeah.
because I'm like the way, and yes, I hold grudges. The way the Lakers lost that last game, the Lakers had that damn game. And here these
Hmm.
niggas come, here here these ninjas come
Hmm.
flopping, and
Yeah.
they ugh, Lakers had that game, and that's why I cannot wait to. I want them to get knocked out. Now, granted, I noticed that they put Hartenstein on. Tech
Hmm.
gotta be better. He's too soft. He is soft. You two not to like each other. They
Hmm.
shouldn't have to switch you off of that man. Have some heart.
I think that has been a strategy because Chet isn't the most physical guy. Like, he's
I mean, he looked
probably
like a string bean, but
that's what I'm saying. He's probably skinnier than Wemby is, and Wemby's not exactly the biggest guy either. So I think their worry is if they just put Chet on Wemby, then Wemby's probably just going to eat him up, and he could end up in foul trouble. Where Chet obviously plays a big role for them offensively, because if the Thunder can't keep Wemby away from the front of the rim, then Wemby's going to be a major problem. Like, we've seen him already in this playoff run have double digit block games. He's just a freak on that end. So I kind of understand why they do it, because like if Hartenstein gets into foul trouble, like you can kind of run him in foul trouble, and if he fouls out, he fouls out. Is offensively, all you really need in Hartenstein to do is just put bodies on people and contest rebounds. Like, that's it. I mean, he
well,
does give you that little
currently,
he does give you that little floater in the lane, but you're not really looking for a lot offensively from him.
currently the Spurs are taking it to the Thunder, so I might be wrong.
Which,
It's
look,
19
I
to 8.
I think if you're the NBA, you would love for this series to go 6, 7 games. I don't think the league would care either way who wins because if the Thunder win, you get that back-to-back storyline. If the Spurs win, the NBA will be like, look, this is our next guy, Wemby, looking to win that title finally. Well, can't really say finally. He hasn't even been in the league that long. But, even with that, it's like the Spurs are a storied franchise. Them getting back to the top, like the league would not hate that at all.
And it's been about 7 game minutes, and the Thunder have no second chance points. Keep at it. Keep at it, Spurs. Because as long as you eliminate that, you have a chance.
Right. Which, I mean, if I'm the Thunder, I can't really depend on second chance points, especially with Wemby out on the floor. When he's off the floor, then yeah, have at it. Even though Luke Cornett is a good rebounder, but he's not Wemby. Okay. How about the East? We got to talk about the East. Knicks are up 3-0. Cavs, hey, Cleveland.
Can you make them say ow? Make them say ow.
You probably should like this. This probably means they're going to go full blown for LeBron.
Well,
since he's going to fix all their problems.
Come get him. Get him and the offspring.
Well, look, I think the Bronny part is because at least LeBron's a free agent, so you probably would need LeBron to sign somewhere. Then I guess the Lakers get a little trade involving Bronny. I don't know. What if Bronny would be like, nah, I'll stay in LA?
As long as he develops, and I don't have to see him for extended minutes unless he earns it.
Right.
I don't care. Get Big Bron off.
I mean, yes. But I guess looking at Cleveland, because like you mentioned, can they make them say ow? That look at the end of the last game with like 2 minutes to go and them completely not playing defense was not a good look.
They just quit.
But then Mitchell talking after game 3 when they're like, the series isn't over yet. What can you guys do? And he's like, how about we'll not blow a 22-point lead in game 1? Bro, you got to move that out of your mind.
You got to move on from that. And that's their problem. They're soft as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're soft. And I'm trying to pull up the series stats because I'm getting, like, James Harden finna get his issue.
Well, I mean, Harden.
I know.
Harden's been declining with each round because I did write those numbers down because something told me that there was a correlation. Raptors, he was 21-5-6 in that series where he, won a couple of games. Pistons, he was 25-6, so basically the same level. Now, I think these Knicks numbers were before the last game, so they could be down a little bit, but he's 17-5-3 on average against the Knicks. So he's getting worse as, piling up the amount of games here in the playoffs, which if they were to pull off a miraculous comeback, he would probably be shot for the finals. But my thing with Harden, I think he's getting too much blame.
And not
Mitchell can't skate by in this. He can't. He's disappeared from long periods in these games, and then we'll have a little flurry late when the game's kind of out of hand. There are times where it's like Cleveland needs a bucket, and he's perfectly fine being off the ball and, not really fighting away from the defense. And then defensively, we talk about Harden on Brunson. Mitchell's not much better either. So I feel like, yeah, they both should share some of the blame in all this. I guess as well as Atkinson.
In all of these games, he has had more makes than turnovers. I can't say that for James Harden. And that's why I hate the fact that James Harden has been playing so poorly because if he'd been playing a little, just a tad bit better, we'd be paying more attention to Donovan Mitchell.
But is
But
that
he's
fair?
playing that trash that you gotta pay attention to this because you cannot have more turnovers and make buckets in half of your playoff games, the
Hmm.
entire playoffs, and more than half, and expect to be a championship winning to expect to get away with it. So while I understand, like I get it,
Yeah.
we need to be paying more attention to Donovan Mitchell, and we should be, we really should be. But Harden has been terrible.
Hmm.
And I understand why some people would think this is more important than Mitchell having his being streaky.
Hmm.
You know, because you know what? Why they get James Harden for when Donovan gets streaky? He can start picking up the pace a little bit. But nope,
Yep. Yeah.
that hasn't
And
happened.
and that's where I feel like it's almost unfair to put it all on James Harden. Like people are making it seem like James Harden is coming up short. This has been James Harden's MO. So if you as the Cavs or a Cavs fan are surprised by this, then that's where I'm like it's unfair to James Harden. Mitchell is that guy though. When they go through these long stretches where they can't score, that is Donovan Mitchell's job. I'm not putting that on James Harden. James Harden was supposed to go there to be like a facilitator to make it easier on Donovan Mitchell to become a scorer. And yes, him with the turnovers is part of the problem in that, but Mitchell has to be the guy, especially for game 4, because obviously your season's on the line.
He needs to be
Mitchell
more
has to have the
assertive.
mentality that he's going to drop 45 if they want to win.
He has to be more assertive, and that's the one thing I hate about Donovan Mitchell. He's assertive at times. He's selectively assertive,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I can't stand it.
early in the game, he's doing his little spider thing, and then he'll go quarter and a half where you're like, when was the last time Mitchell scored? And then he'll give you a little flurry, and you're like, well, where was this in the middle part of the game? Yeah, I don't know. I'm
I mean, the
assuming you
Spurs are
believe
really
it's over.
taking it to the Thunder. They really
That,
are.
but that's what I'm saying. That the league loves that. Yes, they want that series to go as long as it can. So I'm perfectly okay with that. And it kind of resets the series. Obviously, if the Spurs can tie it at 2, for fans like you who would like to see the Spurs beat the Thunder, 2-2 looks a lot better than 3-1. All right, so we'll talk about the Knicks for a little bit here. Because,
Oh God,
well, I mean,
I
look,
gotta be nice to them.
Knicks fans are like they're the most dominant team in the playoffs.
No, they're
They feel like
not.
this. They feel like this is Brunson, Cat. This is the Knicks year to end that 53-year drought because it was 1973. I always want to get the year wrong, but it was 1973 when they won their last one. I did title the episode "Party Like It's 1999" because if we do get Spurs Knicks, that was the final series in '99 when young Tim Duncan with David Robinson beat a Knicks team with like Latrell Sprewell and I believe Ewing was on that team. Yeah, vaguely remember that series. It was like a strike shortened season or something like that. And the Knicks got to the finals as like a 7-8 seed. Interesting year, but
I wasn't alive.
that's why I did a little history lesson of sorts. But I guess looking at the Knicks, not really to break down what they're doing against the Cavs, but looking at the West, who do you think the Knicks have a better chance against, the Thunder or the Spurs? Or do you give
Man,
them?
none of them.
Okay, that was going to be the third option.
Man, man, because I already know what. See, I can already because the Knicks are gonna come out of this series.
Mm-hmm.
I already conceded that part.
Mm-hmm.
After they lost that 22-point lead, I'm like, the Cavs are done because I knew at some point they were gonna do that and fold. And
Mm-hmm.
what have they done since then? Fold. Um, the Knicks are gonna go to the series. are going to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they play the Thunder are way bigger than the Knicks, and it's not even close.
True.
And so are the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Thunder, you know what? The Thunder and the Knicks, both Brunson and SGA do that little kickback move thing.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the battle of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
All they're gonna do is flop off of each other. Cat's gonna get soft again. I'm telling you, because they're gonna require him to be more physical consistently. He's gonna
Yeah.
fold, and he's not like that consistently.
Mm-hmm.
He's only like that against teams that he can really get going against, like the Cavaliers, because they're
Yeah.
soft as baby food too.
Right. No. I agree. If they're going to win against the Thunder or the Spurs, Brunson will obviously have to play great. Cat's gonna have to be really, really good if they're going to. Like against the Spurs, he's gonna have to be a 3-point, knockdown shooter to pull Wemby away. Against the Thunder, you would like to see him more on the block against Chet or Hartenstein and try to bully down there. A lot to kind of depend on with Cat, but that's kind of where the Knicks are right now. So I will see. Look, the Knicks obviously will be there. We'll see who they face. You're obviously rooting for the Spurs. I think before the series, I picked the Spurs, so I guess that's where we are. It'd be interesting. So we did talk about Harden a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Past few weeks we have been doing like these little spotlight kind of conversations, which I guess we kind of had a little bit with Harden in terms of it being unfair with some of the pressure that he's kind of being put under with this current group. But I want to take it maybe a step further than that. Because Harden's what, 36, 37, 38,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in that range. How many more chances does James Harden realistically have at getting that elusive NBA title?
I think he's done. I think he's done because you cannot have like the way these teams are getting ready to start building their teams and configuring their rosters. You cannot afford to have somebody who routinely just gets worse in the playoffs on
Mm-hmm.
your roster. You can't afford to have it.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. I think he's just here. He's just here for vibes.
Now, I did see this floated out by, I'm going to assume it was a Lakers fan. And I want to get your thoughts on this. Because this was a proposed trade that I had to get your thoughts on. So this is a proposed LeBron trade to get him to Cleveland, where everybody's like, that's where he wants to end his career. So in return, this person had the Lakers getting Max Strus, Jarrett Allen, centered around those two.
Hell and no.
I mean, Jarrett Allen would give you a big, since DeAndre Ayton was such a failure. Strus, I mean, I guess playing off of Luka.
No thanks.
That's all I wanted to ask you. See, as a Lakers fan, what would you think about a trade like that?
No thanks.
Okay. All right. Hey.
Cleveland has nothing that I want.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think of their roster. Like Cleveland obviously is not going to give up Mobley,
Yes,
which
and that's the
he's
only
probably
thing that I would require. I feel like Rob would ask for it would be Mobley.
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, just a thought. So I guess so. If LeBron does go there, like in free agency, and they still had Mitchell, well, Mitchell obviously will be there. Let's say Harden there. should Cavs fans expect anything different next season?
No, no, no. Because you're not going to win a championship with Donovan Mitchell as your best player. Period. Point blank.
I've said that too. Okay, I agree.
But it's been proven now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, actually, past couple of seasons, because
Well, people weren't really paying attention the past couple seasons.
well, I felt like last season for sure. Cleveland had some ideas they could come out of the East. This season was, I guess, more of a toss up because they were the 4 seed. So it was more so probably matchups for them on how far they could go. And they've been somewhat fortunate with their path to this point. Because, to be honest, this team probably shouldn't even be an Eastern Conference Finals team. But hey,
No,
they're there.
I blame Detroit for not
Right.
addressing their scoring issues.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. If they had addressed that, we wouldn't even be discussing this
Mm-hmm.
because they would have been able to take care of business.
Yes. Which, I mean, it does say something that they had to go to a game 7 against a Detroit team that struggled offensively as much as they did. But,
That's how I knew that the next round they was going home.
right, yes. But even like now for them moving forward, it's let's say the Pistons get that score next for next season. We'll see what happens with Atlanta and Toronto and teams like that. Cleveland can't be too sure that this opportunity will kind of present itself ever again for them, at least with this group, unless Mobley takes probably a big step next year.
We've been waiting on that for how many? For how long? I feel like we've been waiting on that for a minute.
Yeah, but it's also like his role has changed somewhat because of the roster makeup. Because obviously at first him and Allen as like a twin tower thing was cool, but one of them had to become more of a perimeter oriented player. And you can't do that with Jared Allen because Jared Allen doesn't have that kind of capability. Mobley obviously showed that at USC, I believe where he went. And, he was the obvious choice, but I think Mobley, if he had it his way, like he'd be able to kind of work inside and outside at the same time, depending on matchups. Whereas now he's kind of like mid range to strictly perimeter, unless he gets a matchup that he can like drive past past his defender and get to the front of the rim. Let's see.
That whole twin tower concept don't work for us unless one of them is good from the perimeter. We saw
Yeah.
it with the WNBA. Why they put them
Mm-hmm.
two together after seeing them two, the other two?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro, we see it. We saw it with the whole Andrew Reese Camila Cardoso dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Camilla's playing much better now that Angel's not there. And
Yes.
Angel's also playing much better now that she doesn't have to worry about floor spacing.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And well, obviously, we'll get more, I guess, WNBA later. But yeah, that's where maybe the people who don't like this pace and space era is because they love, like 90s basketball when you watched it, very compact, where you had like one big man on one block, you had somebody trying to post up on the other block, and it was just whichever matchup you wanted to go to, that's where you went. Where now it's like you have 4 or 5 guys out on the perimeter, maybe one dives to the little block, and maybe people just don't like that. but that's where we are. So Mobley, if Mobley doesn't have to be like some 45% 3-point shooter, but if he was 32 to 35, that's at least enough that people would take him seriously. I mean, I
Hmm.
probably should have looked up what his actual 3-point percentage is right now, but that's still not the best part of his game yet. I'm not saying he can't get there, but Art, little Harden talk there. Let's go NFL. Another favorite of the show, Aaron Rodgers, finally made his decision that he's going to sign with Pittsburgh, and then went a little bit further and said that this is his final season. He will retire. Now, some people out there might say, we'll see. Aaron Rodgers is one of those who loves the attention. So wouldn't it be like him to tell everybody that's going to be his final season, and then midway to be like, well, maybe I could give you another year and kind of hold us on that way. But we'll take him at his word. It's his final year.
I wish the one thing about it is
Yeah, go ahead.
he had the option of being remembered so much better than he's actually going to be remembered. And he
Okay.
took the prima donna pretentious POS way. Just saying.
No, that's fair.
He's still one of the most talented throwers of the ball
Mm-hmm.
we've seen.
Yeah.
Can't lie about that. He is a 4-time MVP. You only got one damn ring, but whatever. It's hard to win a Super Bowl.
But I do
At
kind of
the
feel like
same time,
I feel like that's what's driving him though to continue this out. He won that Super Bowl in 2011. There's NFL fans now that probably don't remember he won that Super Bowl.
because they weren't born. Oh,
Right. But just think about it. Eli Manning has a couple. You know, quarterbacks like Trent Dilfer and some of these have won Super Bowl. So I felt like for these last 15 years, Aaron Rodgers has been trying to get that second one so that at least he could say, Peyton Manning only had two, I have two, so I can still kind of be up in those all-time great conversations. And like you said, talent-wise, yes, people will say Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great. But in terms of performance and actually winning at a high level, he's fallen short too many times. So I feel like that's why he's been doing it. I mean, I don't know if necessarily going back to Pittsburgh this season helps that in any way, but
it is not going to help. So he's going to retire only having one ring, and he's going to have all that arm talent and only one ring to show for it. And then people are going to start dissecting his career and start pointing at his personality flaws. And he's not going to like that.
yeah,
Well, doofus, if you don't like it, go retire in a cave and smoke all the ayahuasca that you want. Then you
right.
don't have to hear it.
Yeah,
I cannot wait until he retires.
right.
He has been holding this league hostage for the past at least half a damn decade.
Mm-hmm.
Hostage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the
And
way that he has carried himself has tarnished his reputation.
yeah. And if you're Pittsburgh, you'll finally have to decide who's your quarterback going forward. Because this is the same issue they ran into at the end of Big Ben. Now with Rodgers telling you this is his final year. If you do like Will Howard, then it should be a smooth transition. If I guess Drew Aller or whoever outperforms him in the preseason, maybe you try him, but they need to have a plan at quarterback for next season.
And they need to get that youngin some reps in the next season too.
Yes.
If it's a blowout, don't trot that old ass man out there if they're getting blown out. If you know it's a blowout, go ahead and pull it.
Yep.
midway through the third, and rock it with the rookies.
Yep.
Just saying.
No, I completely agree. Even if also like if end of the season like they're out of it, like it's nice having Rodgers around. He can retire on the sideline, put one of them out there for a couple of games if you have to at least get that process started for next year.
Hmm. Actually, just go ahead and send him back to Fiji or whatever.
Uh,
Can
I
they
mean,
tell that I'm over it?
yeah. Hey, Rodgers he'll bring attention to Pittsburgh. People will be looking at every game and talking about we're that much closer to the end of a Hall of Fame career and everything. And can he work a little magic with Pittsburgh and maybe get them back to the postseason? We will obviously all see. But stay in the division. The Cleveland Browns. Todd Monken is running the show there now. He's had some comments on the offense where said it wasn't that good. But looking at some of the reports from the voluntary workouts or whatever they're called, he's giving, Shador, Watson a lot of reps. He's really complimenting Shador, a lot, talking about, I guess, him coming back and looking better or whatever and performing well. Even though I guess signs are pointing to Watson could be the starter this year. I don't know. That's a whole other story. But
That's a game I refuse to play.
right,
I'm not playing that.
I have no idea what to even think about that. Like for me, it's if it's close, you're probably better off announcing Shador as the starter if they're close. If Watson's clearly the better quarterback, then look, you throw Watson out there, and if he gives you a decent season out of that trash contract, you can feel a little bit better about it. But looking at Monken and this Cleveland setup that they have, how optimistic should Browns fans feel about this season?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah,
I mean, they did draft some wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy was their guy, like their lone target. They have Casey Concepcion and a couple of others. They don't have Njoku, even though Njoku has been in and out of the lineup with injuries and everything like that. The defense, we'll see. They were okay last year. Can they be dominant enough that an offense led by Shador or whatever's left of Watson
can
in
they
that
stay off the
division?
field?
But I mean, in that division, we just talked with the Steelers. There's questions there. Bengals should be better because they actually realize that you need to get guys on defense. And then everybody is looking at Baltimore to have a bounce back year. But could Cleveland surprise anybody?
Huh? Sergeant,
You
are
might
you
be thinking
talking
about
about Shiloh?
Shiloh. Yeah, Shiloh is. Yeah, don't.
Shiloh's
Yeah,
done.
Shiloh
That
probably would
trash
not
dummy
have
ruined
that.
his own career.
Yeah, yeah, Shiloh. Don't worry about it. Shador is very much a NFL player.
I'm also. I feel like he's doing that to try to appease the daddy to just like worry about his own goddamn team.
Yeah, which I think the competition could be good for Shador. Like if it was just handed to him, maybe he'd get complacent. Now that he knows he has to beat out Watson, he can focus in and beat him out, take the job, and if he performs well enough, he could be a starter for the next, I don't know, 5, 6 years for all we know, and build a legacy of sorts for himself.
And,
Whatever that looks like.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess moving on in the NFL, a lot of people have been kind of talking about next season already, and whether it's pressure or make or break, however you want to phrase it. We're phrasing it as make or break. You're watching. If you want to drop in the chat, who are some players or even teams, coaches, however you want to answer it, that you feel like next season is a make or break for them? And you
CJ
can,
Stroud,
okay, yeah, go ahead, kick us off. CJ Stroud, who I do have as well.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
the best version of CJ Stroud that we saw with his rookie season.
Yep.
And I don't want to hear the and he has a lot of excuses too. I can be objective to say that because they keep messing around with his offensive line, and that's
Yep.
a unit that you have to let get some type of continuity. You just can't keep tearing it down every year and expect to get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to establish continuity, and I feel like D'Amico Ryans knows that, and I don't know why he doesn't. What's going on? I
Yeah.
don't care, but still, y'all know I could care less about the dysfunction on their offensive line
Mm-hmm.
because I've had my own offensive line dysfunction, and didn't nobody feel sorry for Cam
Yeah.
or Will for that matter.
Yeah.
So give me a break. Um, and I understand that his wide receiver situation hasn't been great.
Mm-hmm.
Again, talent evaluators. I mean, I'm not saying that, but you can't help that they've been quite injury prone. They
Mm-hmm.
can't stay on the field. You can't help that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just stuff happens. Even with Stephon Diggs. You kind of forget that Diggs was in Houston.
Yep.
That was forgettable.
Yeah. It was.
So I'm like, I want to give him grace, but at the same time, you're coming up on your 5, and they already picked up your option, so you know you run the risk of you're at a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
You better make some shape with what you got, and you better stop turning the football over in the playoffs if you want to do anything.
Yep.
Because with that part, he was terrible this year with that, and the
Mm-hmm.
year before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
Stop
I
waiting
completely
until
agree.
the playoffs to play your worst.
Yeah. I agree. I'm like I was a CJ Stroud fan when he first came to the league. I thought that rookie season was going to be the launch pad for a great young quarterback, and he still has the tools, but especially coming off of that playoff loss to the Patriots, I think there's a lot of questions about him now, which is why I wrote him down as well. That if he has another year where turnovers are part of the story, or it's looked at as he's the one who held back a great defense and a potentially good offense, I think the Texans will have to wonder, do you want to offer a crazy extension to him and make him your franchise quarterback if some of these issues may not go away? So I completely agree with you that that's definitely make or break for him. I guess who else do you have?
We're not going to talk about the other turnover prone quarterback in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm going to leave him out of that because I'm
Okay.
not trying to argue with featherbrains.
Right.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
He looks like Axel Frog, and his last name is Jackson.
Right.
Um, Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up my list. Kyle Shanahan,
Okay.
sir, time's up. Do something. You either gonna full out collapse or you're gonna win the
Hmm.
Super Bowl. I am so sick and tired of this of Kyle Shanahan seemingly trying to making something out of nothing and always end up falling short in the end.
Hmm.
Sir, you sir are on my hot seat personally. You're a you're a good coach,
Hmm.
good coach. At the same time, you're too good for your own good. You're too smart for your own for your own good.
Hmm.
And the reason why you still have a job is because you hit on Brock Purdy.
Yes. Now that I
And
guess they've stayed, I guess, relevant enough that people will still think that they could get it done.
well, I think this year is definitely make or break because guess where the Super Bowl champions came from? Their division.
Yep.
And the
True.
Rams aren't going nowhere.
Right.
They just drafted their quarterback for the future.
Hmm.
So, Mr. Shanahan, what are you gonna do? Um, Sunshine,
Okay.
Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence. Look, look. I think they're gonna be like his extension just started to kick in.
Hmm.
If he has another one of these, I'm gonna play well for half a season. They're gonna be looking for a way out of it. Because remember, Cohen did not draft Lawrence.
True. Yeah.
And if
He's not a
he's going to
motherfucker
be the
either.
problem, and we're not going to sit here and keep blaming the receivers,
Hmm.
we're not going to keep sitting here doing that. Brian Thomas Jr. had a down year, probably because his quarterback kept making bad decisions for a whole half a season.
Hmm.
They are lucky that my team was as sorry as they were. And that's not going to happen again.
Right.
That is not going to happen again. So, Sunshine, can you put together a complete season? And why are we still asking that question?
Good point. Yeah. Not getting any younger.
And even like you made the playoffs, and then what?
So what's the level of make or break for Lawrence? Like if because
Uh,
obviously, but I'm saying like obviously making that playoff last year, should that give him a little grace if they don't win a playoff game again this year? Or does he have to
no,
win a playoff game and maybe even win a second one?
he needs to win a playoff game and not get gifted to it, and not get it gifted to him.
That's fair.
He needs to win a playoff game. It's him and that other one in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
They need to convincingly win a playoff game
Right. I agree.
because wait a minute, let me look this up. Trevor Lawrence. How did his season end last year? Let me refresh my memory.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, hey, maybe the NFL works it in a way we get a wild card matchup, Chargers Jaguars. Everybody's just tuned in to see who will beat who, and maybe you'll push a lot of the pressure onto the other. Even though I guess Lawrence does have a playoff win under his belt, so maybe
Yeah, because
Herbert would
he
probably
lost
need
in
to
the
do
wild
more.
card.
But yeah, it's. I think those two are kind of locked in step now. Like everybody's
They
gonna
are.
look at each year and go, Lawrence Herbert, which one of you is going to get to AFC title game or Super Bowl?
The same thing we do with Haley Steinfeld's husband and Axel Frog Jr.
Yes.
Like
So,
that's how we put them two together.
yep.
Lawrence and Herbert are to Lamar and Josh. Same boat. Both of them two are in the same boats. They're different boats, but they're
Mhm.
in the same boat.
Yeah.
The same way you look at Herbert, you look at Sunshine. The same way you look at Lamar, you look at Josh Allen.
Right.
That's how I
Those
do it.
two are just the less decorated version of Lamar and Josh.
See, because even in his playoff game, he turned the ball over twice
Mm-hmm.
and he lost.
Yeah.
So you made it and you lost. That's why both of them with Sunshine and Timu Sunshine, they both need to convincingly win a playoff game. And when we start discussing Justin Herbert, I don't want to hear anything else about Brandon Staley. Let's let that one rest. Let's let that
No,
excuse rest.
I
And
think,
then
yeah,
when we're
I think he's moved on from that. I don't think, only because they brought in somebody who's clearly better. I don't think the Brandon Staley stuff needs to be mentioned anymore. I agree with you.
and as far as Sunshine is concerned, I don't want to hear anything else about Urban Meyer.
I think the same thing. Yeah. Liam Cohen is clearly better. So, yeah.
I don't want to hear anything else about that. I don't want to hear those excuses being made. Well, they had this coach early in their career. F it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That was so long ago.
Yeah.
And granted, I understand the angle where if you get a bad coach, it can ruin a career. But both of these organizations, well, Jacksonville did it quite quicker, and I'm kind of glad that they did it. Because the
Mm-hmm.
only one that you can kind of give Herbert that excuse where they had Brandon Staley for too long is Herbert.
Yeah.
Because Staley should have been fired at least a season or two before he actually was fired.
Completely agree. I mean, technically, when they lost that playoff game, he probably should have been fired.
He should have been fired the second they lost it, but
Yeah.
the Chargers are going to charge. Um,
Spanos isn't trying to waste money.
they've wasted time.
Well, hey.
Um, let's go to the AFC North. Mr. Burrow, I don't want to hear about your happy spills. I don't want you to sit here and act depressed and hear about dinosaurs and ish. They gave you dinosaurs on defense. They actually made a conceded effort of on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
It's go time. Now, if it's Zach Taylor, I've been said Zach Taylor was a problem, but
Mm-hmm.
it's go time, sir. You don't have any more excuses. They've tailored this entire team to you and what you wanted. You're getting two number one receivers, even though the running game is a mess. But you got your tight ends, and now that they've made a conceded effort on defense, you don't get any more excuses. Joe Cool, like,
That's that's fair.
and the last one I'm gonna hit on is both of the quarterbacks that find themselves in Flowery Branch.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I had these two written down as well. So I agree.
For various reasons. Actually, kind of the same reasons. They both got to stay healthy, and they both got to
Mm-hmm.
prove themselves.
Yep.
Tua has to prove that he's competent because we've been questioning that for the past 2 seasons.
Hmm.
He has to prove that he's competent and worthy of actually being a leader again.
Yeah,
And Michael Penix Jr. has to prove that he's actually built for this. I feel like it'll be an interesting dynamic.
that's fair.
That's all for me.
I agree. Yeah, I completely agree with that one. It's like obviously if you're Penix, if you lose the job to Tua, Tua's not like probably not a long term answer in Atlanta. Maybe you could bounce back from that. Tua, look, if Tua's the backup to Penix, like you said, they both have an injury history that Tua may actually get playing time, but Tua is also getting that money from Miami. So hey, if he
He
has to
might be
stand
just
on the
getting.
sideline, if he has to stand on the sideline and hold a clipboard and rake in money from Miami, sure, why not? Joe Cool's next excuse will be they didn't get the right hair gel. Well, I also think Burrow would actually welcome that pressure. He seems like that kind of fits his personality.
I don't want to
Simon
hear
says he's
him.
giving up on Tua, which a lot of people obviously have. I mean, Miami did, and yeah, it's probably more so make or break for Tua. But yeah, Penix definitely. There's a lot of questions about him, mainly his health. Because look, those knee surgeries and everything. Now he's had a couple of banged up years in the NFL. Like it's valid to wonder how long he could really play in this league with his body breaking down already.
And for him to be wearing that damn do rag all the time, his waves don't be hitting on nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
No.
like, sir,
Yeah.
take that ish off if them things gonna be shallow,
Right. No, that's true.
messing
Um.
up your hairline.
Yeah.
Y'all do know that wearing those do rags mess up your hairline, right? All the time messes up your hairline. And then y'all be mad when you got a receding hairline by the time you're 30 because you're wearing a damn do rag all the time. If you don't know, now you know.
Right. Hey, maybe he didn't know. We'll see. All right. So you touched on Stroud and Penix and Tua. I had Jared Goff. I had to look this up. Jared Goff is 31 years old. I was kind of surprised by that. And he was in with the Rams. They made the Super Bowl, and then they moved off of him very quickly. It seemed like he was going to punish them in Detroit early on in his tenure there, but they took a step back last year. And now with him being 31, with Caleb Williams apparently being on the scene, I'm still a big believer in Jordan Love. And we'll see what Kyler Murray and Minnesota have. I feel like that little window where we thought Detroit might dominate the division for the next few years, I don't think that anymore. And if it comes to the point where, they have another season of regression, Dan Campbell may have to move off of Goff just for self-preservation for himself. Because he's another guy who there could be some make or break conversations about, especially with how, like I said, Detroit started a couple of years ago. And now it seems like that momentum has slowed. So I have him. I have Dan Quinn. Might be unfair to him, but the Jaden Daniels injury from last year, I think, is going to hang over his head. And if Daniels has a subpar season again this year, I think he'll be blamed for possibly stunting Jaden Daniels' growth, and they'll probably bring in somebody else to take that team over. Jared Goff is Timu Ryan Gosling. That's a fair one. The last one I had Todd Bowles. Kind of a Dan Campbell situation.
Yep.
A couple of years ago, Bucks seemed like the class of the NFC South. Now the Bucks are an older team. Baker is still, Baker, but they don't have Mike Evans anymore. Godwin, I feel like, is on the back nine already. Panthers
Oh,
took a step forward last year. Falcons on paper have all the talent in the world if they just get their quarterback situation, and they have a different coach, so they might be better off. And don't sleep on the Saints necessarily. I
mm-mm.
feel like the Saints had a good draft. I thought Tyler Shuck showed something last year. If the Bucks are a third or even last place team, I don't think there's a chance in the world Bulls makes it past next season.
Nope.
Detroit won't dominate until they move off of Goff. And that's why I put Goff on my list, because if they do have another bad year, he's going to be the one that's going to get the fingers pointed at. And like I said, Campbell will probably have to do it maybe with some pressure from the front office, or just looking at why the Rams moved off of him and him being 31.
Yep.
Which, like I said, I was kind of surprised by that, but then not really, especially when you think that Lamar and Josh Allen are both 30. So it kind of made sense that Goff was like 31. All right. All right, let's get into some WNBA. I guess we'll start Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Even though I kind of wonder about this story, where it seems like, people are looking at, is there a disconnect between her and the team with this injury and everything that came with that? I guess, but it also seems like this might be the working of the Caitlin Clark stands again. Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how much time you spent, TikTok or whatever recently. All of a sudden, it seems like everybody's talking about maybe Caitlin Clark needs to get out of Indiana, or maybe Indiana wants Caitlin Clark out. And I'm starting to think it's because the Caitlin Clark people don't want to have this conversation about Kelsey Mitchell potentially being better than her for the Fever. Like, as a talent, that's another conversation we want to have, but I think a lot of people, or more and more people, are saying Kelsey Mitchell is more important to the Fever than Caitlin Clark. And I kind of think the Caitlin Clark people don't like that conversation.
They don't.
So they're trying to create something that may not actually be there. Maybe that's just me. But I guess what are your thoughts on Clark and the Fever? And is it a big deal, the whole injury discrepancy, or no?
I just think it's 5 damn games in. It's too early to be both managing
Mm-hmm.
unless there's a legitimate reason. Don't know the reason, but I don't really think it's that big of an issue other than that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is important to realize that if they like Caitlin, stop all that damn flapping. She got that. She got it bad. She got it bad, and I'm like, bro,
She's
they don't
picking
want
the
to
wrong
admit
time to do it too. With all the attention it's getting, it's just gonna make it look a lot worse for her.
they. I'm like, bro, she's bad with it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't like to admit the truth that sometimes the Fever can be better, play better without her. They don't like admitting that. They don't like admitting the flopping. They don't like admitting the fact that she still struggles with her left hand.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like admitting that. I feel like the stands are just doing everything in their power to ignore what the actual issues are.
Yeah.
She
I was
hasn't
also
been
thinking
helped.
about, remember that preseason poll about the best point guard or whatever in the league?
Hmm.
And they had Clark behind Chelsea Gray, and obviously Paige was third, and I was like, I would take Paige over her. The more I
Well,
think about it, I feel like Kelsey Plum gets disrespected in all of that,
yep.
because Kelsey Plum's a really good point guard too.
Hmm.
But I don't know, Clayton Clark fans want to even have that conversation.
You come and say hi.
I will say, I think I guess like her attitude or something that a lot of people talk about.
Hmm.
Like, yes, the stuff with her and the refs, whatever. I kind of like that she likes to talk trash. I just hope it's something that she doesn't run away from if it's like thrown back in her face. Because part of it probably brings on some hate from people. I feel like at this point, embrace it. Because I think what we've learned is you're either a Clark fan or not at this point. I don't think she's going to sway anybody either way. So the ones who are going to hate her, sure, let them hate and just do whatever. Because I do think, actually, I'll say that for observations, but like I guess it's something worth watching. But if they continue to win, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal anyway. I would like to be in charge of the Connecticut Sun. That's part of my observations as well. I will touch on that in a little bit here, Sajan. Actually, let's get into observations. Well, since Sajan did bring it up, there's no chance that this dude who's coaching the Sun is going to coach them next year when they become
He's
the
not.
Houston Comets. Like
He's not.
he's just a placeholder. I've thrown out. I'm going to throw out there. What if first season back for the Houston Comets, Cheryl Swoops is their coach? Because she was a part of that first dynasty of the WNBA that the Houston Comets were. She's obviously stayed relevant around the league with commentary and I guess some of the Caitlin Clark discussions. I feel like that would be for their first season back in Houston. I think that would be a great hire, and I'm just going to throw it out there now because I know he's not going to do it. Some of the late game execution from the Sun has to be on him. It has been horrible. They did get a win though, so at least they're not going to go over the whole season. And they are somewhat young, so I guess I have to kind of give them that. But the way that they've lost some of these games is just
ridiculous.
I just can't explain it. So yeah, I agree with you, Sajan. Like somebody else needs to be in charge of. Well, actually, you said this draft picks. Morrow, I think, is good. I think Sanaya Rivers was a good pick. I think, what's her name? Neepkins that they just drafted at UCLA. I think she'll be good. She's like the Marina Mabry replacement. I think draft-wise, they've been fine. It's just the coaching on a just game day level, terrible.
Yeah.
And Ian Liff, I'm kind of glad they got her. I think she'll be good. They just got to put it all together.
They just need to replace the coach. That's the first thing they need to do.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know, Sajan. Don't be surprised if Houston Comets run out there and Swoops is on the sideline. I think it would be great. I guess I'll let you go. I guess you have any observation? I feel like we'll have the same one for a team that plays in our city.
Cardoso's playing better.
Mm-hmm.
For people who just can't stand Angel Reese, she sure has been helping that Dream defense close out games. Miss Walking double.
She's literally won a couple of games either with a block at the last second or a last second steal.
See?
She literally did that today.
Yeah.
When they beat Phoenix, So, yeah. But you already know. WNBA, we're going to get Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese content. That's what we get.
She's still a walking double. Granted, she needs to show a little bit more consistency around the rim, but you can see where she's making improvements. As long as I didn't see improvement, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard, round of applause. He's starting to get going. Alicia Gray is starting to get going. And now that they don't have that problem with the boards anymore, the only thing is defensively, can they keep being consistent? That's the only question I have about them.
Yeah.
Cardoso's playing better. I still don't like Tyler Myers. I don't like him,
Mm-hmm.
but he's playing better. Um, let's see. Hold on. I don't know what the hell is going on in Seattle.
I feel like there's been a couple of injuries. Well, Fam got her first bucket today, and she was a high draft pick, so that could be part of the issue there as well. And maybe once they get a couple of these players back, and I guess maybe Fam probably plays little bit more now, maybe they start to win a little bit more. I I don't know. I feel like there is talent up there for sure. I think what we're going to
Right.
notice is that there's going to be a lot of teams in the playoff hunt.
And speaking of Phoenix, do they
Mm-hmm.
realize there's other people on that team not named Kalia Copper that need to score?
That would be probably Bonner because Bonner is
I'm talking
supposed
to
to be a
Alyssa
scorer.
Thomas and DeWanna Bonner.
I mean, yeah, well, yeah. Thomas, I think, is more so assisting and rebounding. Like points, it almost seems like if you can get 10 to 12 out of Alyssa Thomas, you would kind of sign up for that every day. But I agree, Copper can't have all of the, especially late game. Like it seems like Copper is who has to make plays.
Mm-hmm. Like, let's see. The Sparks are starting to turn it around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Aces, they're still doing that beginning of the year. I'm gonna be a little shaky
Mm-hmm.
type thing. I feel like they're gonna get it together. Washington, I'm proud of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Liberty, they're
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're gonna be a from what I'm seeing, they're gonna be a disappointment.
Really? Okay.
I just my opinion. And the Wings are here. I don't like I'm still not completely sold on Arike
Mm-hmm.
and her pick. But they've been putting together some wins. They're still quite young though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah. That's true. Okay. Uh, so you talk about the dream. I might even go a step further on the dream that Canada, so Jordan Canada, Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Angel Reese, and Hillman, who I always forget her first name, could be the best starting five in the league.
And don't forget, they still got Pow Pow coming off the bench.
Yes. I'm talking start. Yeah, Pow Pow off the bench is great. I'm just talking about that starting five. The pressure that they put on defenses, especially with Canada's ability to pass the ball. We already know Reese will crash the boards, but Howard and Gray are really good. I mean, I've been one of those who says like Gray is one of the more underappreciated players in the league. Ryan Howard is probably in the same conversation as well. Like they're just that good. Brought up the wings. I've been one of those who said Arike needs to go. I might talk myself into Paige, Arike, and Fudd staying together, but Arike is the wild card in that equation for me. And as you said, she is way too streaky for me. And I do think Fudd is starting to come on. You know, today she I think knocked down 6 threes, which was one off the rookie record. And I thought she might have gotten it. But then like late in the game, Arike started forcing some shots, even though Arike did have a good game. if they can get Enrique to be more efficient, I think the Wings will be better and could be a team that, I don't know, maybe surprises somebody in the playoffs. I don't think they're a title contender or anything like that, but I think the prospects of those three are at least interesting enough that if they kept it together, I wouldn't hate it. Like before the draft, I was like, don't re-sign her. If you're going to take Fudd, just move with Page and Fudd and go that way. But I'm intrigued enough to let it play out a little bit longer.
Yes, Sergeant, I'm dead ass serious. I'm not sold on the Liberty.
So, okay, so you mentioned the Liberty. The next observation for me, I have 5 title contenders I see right now in the league. I think the obvious one, Aces. Clearly, you have Asia Wilson. I'm putting you up there every year. I think we would both agree the Dream, I feel like, are legit title contenders because of that group. And especially, they seem like they have a legit home court advantage as well. I would put the Lynx once Collier is back, even though they're actually still winning right now. But Collier comes back, she looks fine, then I have them as title contenders. I have the Liberty as a title contender because Ionescu is back, and I think their size could give some teams problems. Because between Jones, Stewie, and Sabali, I don't know if a lot of teams can match up with those three. That reason alone, I would think that I would put them in the contending picture. And quick side note, the stuff about Sabali because she cut her hair, like, can we grow up? Like, people trying to say she looks like Magic Johnson's, like, his daughter, you have to say at this point. Like, she did it for a friend. Like, let's be real. But whatever. And then the 5th team I have, which I might be the shakiest with, are the Fever. But that's kind of basically because of Kelsey Mitchell and her ability to score. And I'm a big fan of Aaliyah Boston. And I do think at some point, Mitchell, Boston, and Clark get that together in a way that they are at least a legit team by the time we get to the playoffs. So those are the 5 I have, with the Wings as an intriguing team just outside of that. And then there's like a whole bunch of other teams that I just can't separate them right now to really think about anybody else. Because it is still really early, so if you look at the standings, it's like everybody's bunched together anyway. We'll see. Saijin, that's good. You've been watching more since the expansion. Like, that's the kind of stuff the league is hoping for. So that's good. So I'm guessing, I guess for you, Jory, out of my title contenders, you would probably question maybe the Liberty. And I don't know how you feel about the Fever necessarily. And I think that's fair.
That and the Fever.
Yeah. I think those are the two that I think are fair. And like I said, the Liberty is only because their size, I think, with the right matchups, would pose enough of a problem against certain teams. And plus, I think Ionescu just came back today. We'll see what impact that has. But those are the 5 I see right now as the teams that at the end, if they won it, I wouldn't be surprised. Anybody outside of that, I might be a little shocked. I guess we can't move on before saying poor Rakia Jackson tore her ACL after an off-season of absolute drama because of, James Pierce, and now she tears her ACL. So kind of sucks, but I do think she'll obviously come back from it, and we'll see what she can do in Chicago. Even though, wait, Yeah, Chicago. Even though
Mm-hmm.
we're not necessarily the biggest fans of the coach there, so I didn't want to breeze past WNBA and not mention her. I
I
guess
don't
all we
like
have.
that man.
Hmm?
I said, I don't like that man.
I mean, look, it's. I guess he like if the season kind of goes in the tank, he probably is on the hot seat. What's up, Garden Gods? Knicks info already know. Go, yeah. We talked about them earlier, and yes, we fully believe they'll probably sweep Cleveland because I don't see Cleveland fighting back at this point. All right, final burn time. This is how we usually end our show. We kind of let people have it who've gotten on our nerves this past week. So, Jory, I'll let you take the honors.
Please excuse Bella and her foolishness. Uh,
Oh, she's
Ma'am,
good.
ma'am.
I mean, this is her time. She loves Final Burn.
Um, First off, don't throw your toy at me. You see I'm trying to talk. Um, Nolan Smith, sir, sir, you deserve to go to jail for that.
Yes.
You deserve to go to jail. How in the hell do you get caught going 135 miles an hour?
Yeah.
How? How? And then the excuse was I'm rushing to a graduation. How about stop running on CP time, leave earlier, ma'am? You,
But even that, them graduations be lasting like an hour or two. It's not that
you
serious.
could
Like if
have
you late,
afforded to be late.
yeah, if you late, you already late. Like you're not gonna miss the whole thing. Like you don't need to go 135 is crazy.
Um, Puda,
Like at
we
those
finna be on
speeds,
final burn in a minute.
you jerk the wheel the wrong way. Like you're tipping over.
Do you know how fast the trees are going outside the window out that at that speed? You can't even see them.
Yeah.
Right, bro. Um, from one Smith to another Smith, you got sassy ass Smith,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why do you continue to engage in hostile interactions with athletes? You have this whole mod boss act that just ticks me off every time I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's maddening.
Yeah.
Ain't it maddening, Puda?
Not a fan of Stephen A. We all agree with you, Bella.
And I'm like, you continuing this back and forth with Jalen Brown. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I'm the most, and you're mad that most people are Team Jalen Brown. Yeah, because we want to hear you shut up and actually do your job instead of paying attention to what people, to irrelevant stuff.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is, when you reacted to what Jalen Brown had to say, you didn't mention the fact that he broke down why he said what he said. He broke down a segment of First Take. And when y'all were breaking down some drama and trying to bring drama into the whole equation, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The way they've handled it, because yeah, Stephen A. with his, you don't want to make an enemy out of me. Do you really want me to be a journalist like that? Further prove his point. The Perkins thing with the phone was so dumb because that proved his point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking about, hey Shane, read that text. Like that's literally what he's talking about. That's not what people should be tuning into the show for. And I agree with you. More and more people are like, look, Jaylen Brown, you may not have liked that he said it, I guess because of the whole Sixers stuff, but he made a valid point. And we see Nick Wright defend him, Levitard defend him, Max Kellerman's defended him. Like, this is not a battle, Stephen A. And Jay Williams told him, like, when you go on your personal show, don't even talk about it. And Stephen A was like, oh, of course, of course. He literally opened his show talking about Jaylen Brown. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and he just loves this because he did it to Jaylen Brown. Remember Kevin Durant, Josh Hart, Kyrie. I guess Monica you have to throw in there. This is what he loves.
He did it to LeBron.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Crazy.
I'm like, I'm over Stephen A. I'm over the whole Stephen A. experience. Ain't that right, Puda Tuda? Right. You tired of it too. Des Bryant.
Okay.
Stay out of women business.
Mm-hmm.
Like you over here calling Alicia Baumgartner. I'm not even finna repeat that phrase.
Yeah.
But it was a derogatory term. Because you saw her. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, Alicia Baumgartner does have a reputation of being a little loose. We'll say that. Ma'am, I'm talking here. Excuse you. Excuse you. But you should have stayed out of that. You did not have to respond to that lady brother.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't nobody tag you in nothing. You just came out of left field. Stay out of women's business. This is the same person that beat his mama. So I already know what type of person you are. A terrible one.
Yep.
Who don't respect women, period. Kelly Stafford. My God.
Yeah.
What type of attention do you need? Does Matthew not give you attention at home? I mean, Matt. Does Matt not give you attention at home? Because we know people calling him Matt just pisses you off. You want people to call him Matthew. Like, if he's not tripping about it, why are you?
Right.
Right, Puda.
Because obviously we know we're supposed to say Patrick and not Pat. But like I said, I think I said this in Discord, like that came from his mom. Like nobody's gonna want to disrespect his mother. Like Kelly, you're married to him, sure, but it just doesn't
At
have
the
the
same
same
time,
weight.
Patrick Mahomes also has said he doesn't mind being called Pat.
Right, that is true. Yes.
So Mama can shut the hell up too, respectfully.
No, I mean, look, I get it from the mom. Like she obviously named him whatever,
But if you don't
but,
mind,
but, but I mean for the player, if you're Patrick Mahomes, if people call you Pat, it's not the end of the world. The same way with Matthew, Matt, Maddie, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal.
hell, they call Matt Ryan kids the Ice Cubes. Do you see his wife acting a fool?
Right. And they called him Maddie all the time.
Clearly, Puda think this lady tripping. Right. Get a grip on reality, lady. Get a grip on yourself. I don't think Matt If it bothered Matt not being called Matthew, he'd say something.
Right.
Just like how Travis Etienne finally told us how to properly pronounce his last name.
Mm-hmm.
If it bothers you, now the one thing, the whole Jackson Smith and Jigba thing. Why do they keep disrespecting this man? First, it was the Drewski thing. And
Mm-hmm.
now that I know that Drewski is hosting the BET Awards, I'm like, please.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a more acceptable audience to do all that playing around. The athletes do not be playing about their names.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But you played with on his top with that. And then you accidentally send him the Defensive Player of the Year trophy,
Yep.
which is disrespectful as well. Like, bro, are y'all just not paying attention to him? Disrespectful. And if Seattle takes that out on the entire league next year, good luck.
Yeah.
Dion.
Oh, is that all you got?
No, I got
Okay.
Dion. I got to talk about Mr. Sanders
Right. Yes.
because he over here. Um, he's over here requesting a meeting with Todd Monken like he ain't got his own goddamn team to coach.
Right. Shouldn't
I'm
he be
like,
recruiting?
bro. And I'm like, Todd Monken should just go ahead and tell him, worry about your own team. I got it here. I'm more of the offensive mind than you will ever be.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Fuda. It gets to a point. Dion doing all of this, he's gonna really make his son's reputation just be one of a daddy's boy who don't know how to be quiet,
Mm-hmm.
whose dad doesn't know how to be quiet.
Yeah.
He is really Dion has got to learn to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like over it.
But it's like he shouldn't have an issue with Monken anyway. Monken literally sent Shador a gift when he got the job. Clearly, he is somewhat of a fan of him and probably would like him to be his starting quarterback. Like, I don't understand. I mean, look, maybe the conversation was a great one, and he was just like, "Thanks for being in my son's corner." I doubt it because I'm sure Dion wouldn't have wasted his time if that was his messaging. But yeah, if I'm Monken, I'm like, I got enough to worry about with this team. I don't need to be attached to some storyline with you. So I agree. Let's hope that this was a one time only type of thing. Will it be? Because we already know if Deshaun Watson runs out there week one as the starter, Dion's gonna be the first one to say something about it. Um, I mean, my only one was Dana White because he's Dana White, one, but he went on a podcast and basically wanted to say that men talking about mental health is soft, it's weak, and he doesn't have time for that BS. If that's going to be your messaging in 2026, you can keep that to yourself, especially when we see athletes who've taken their own lives, mental health. We've seen athletes getting heckled by fans for mental health. And you want to sit here and act like it's not manly to have mental health issues or to want to talk about it. Can we get away from this caveman mentality? Like men aren't
He's the
supposed to
reason
be.
why. That reason why we have men killing people for no fucking reason.
Yeah, like it's so dumb that there are people who feel that way. If Dana White personally doesn't like talking about that, then that's him. Don't sit here and try to act like that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, everybody's different. Obviously, mental health is a serious thing because we've seen the ramifications where it's not addressed or the person feels like they can't open up to anybody, what that can lead to. So, uh, like I said, there's plenty of reasons to not like Dana White. That to me was just ridiculous to say that on a podcast and to make it seem like that's the right way to be. Like, it's no.
Your brain is an organ; it can get sick.
Yes. Yep. But yeah, that was the only one for me. Like, I heard that and I was like, not a chance. But
And my last little blurb.
yeah, go ahead.
People in Georgia can't drive. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible when it's dry outside and you add a little bit of rain to it and it's like y'all drive faster.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not how that goes. Y'all are aggressive unnecessarily. You don't like using blinkers. Y'all get on my nerve and y'all make my butt itch. Like, what the hell? How did
Right.
half of y'all get a license? That's it.
No, that's well said. I mean, I was out driving today and somebody did the whole far left lane. Oh, my exit's coming up and just darting across. And I was like, have we not seen the cars that get spun out on the side of the road for pulling that same maneuver and getting clipped by somebody to the point that maybe it's not smart to do that?
And it's wet outside and they're still doing that crap.
Mm-hmm. And well said, Saijan. I don't get that myself. Mental health is universal. We're all human and have to get there together. Exactly.
And because Dana White is who he is, I refuse to watch anything UFC related.
Right. No, I agree. I don't either. Even like I all I know is like that whole White House one is coming up, which yeah, I wasn't gonna watch anyway. I don't watch, but definitely wouldn't watch it for that. So I did put Jory and I our blog in the chat. If you want to check out some more content from us, you can go over there, check it out. There are some articles up there, as well as some in the works that will be up there, I guess, over the course of this next week, hopefully. So feel free to go over there, follow the blog. We'd greatly appreciate it. And if you have not joined our Discord, I can put that into the chat as well, so that you can go over there and you can talk to us when we're not live on here. Because we do have some very interesting conversations in there as well, especially during the season. Trust me, there'll be a lot of fun conversations in there.
I'm gonna be in that.
Yes. So, all right, it's posted there. So, like I said, join the Discord, join our blog, both of them, one, whatever. If you would just want more content from us. Other than that, that's all I got. I mean, Jory, got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
That's all I got. Stay tuned because I am gonna bring back my personal podcast in June or July.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that. I am doing some planning. I'm just trying to figure out like logistics, but I plan to bring it back either June or July, right before the football season starts. So stay tuned for that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, you can find me as well over Chopping at the Bit, which is my personal podcast. I think last one I did was the Jaylen Brown stuff. Probably have an episode out maybe tomorrow or early next week. I'm gonna start to get into soccer mode. I know Jory grass ping pong, yes, but got a World Cup coming up. I'm really excited for. So we'll start kind of ramping up to that. And as I said, I'm going to make a soccer fan out of you one day. I'll try.
If I get on basketball players for flopping, what makes you think I'm going to watch soccer?
Fair point. I'll give you that one. Although I will say soccer is more embellishing, but that's like, two lanes of the same highway. So I completely understand that. But yeah, so I'm going to start ramping up soccer World Cup talk. But yeah, so appreciate all of you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We'll obviously be back this Friday, so later this week, regular time, where we will talk more playoffs. I guess at that point we might be looking at a finals preview, but I feel like the Western Conference will still be going. We'll have some more WNBA talk as well. And I guess NFL if anything big happens. So appreciate it. Thanks again for myself, Jory, and Bella. Came in late. Appreciate you. Make sure you're back next week. Check out the other shows in the network as well. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all next week. All right, bye.
Drop dubs, hit routes, so yeah, we on the move. From the paint to the pocket, got nothing to prove. Precision in the pass, rhythm in the run. Every play, every day, till the work is done.
Yeah. Step on the field, I'm reading the D. Eyes wide open, ain't fooling me. Pump fake sidestep, I'm breaking the press from baseline to sideline. I'm bringing my best, snap back, quick glance. I'm calling the play, hoop dreams and touchdowns. I'm making my way, no look behind the back. Threading the scene, every angle, every shout. I'm chasing a dream. Drop times, hit routes in the deep, no doubt. From the field to the hardwood, hear the crowd shout. Pass it, dish it, through traffic. We find